couple people started suggesting like opening my own spot. And it was like, I don't know. And then it just kind of like maybe. I was looking at opening Rockford because it's about the size of Madison, and I'm like, it'll be far enough away from Madison. Maybe I could get a bigger size because there's nothing in Rockford. There's nothing in Rockford. They occasionally do theater shows for comedians, Burt Kreischer, Tom Segura, at the big theater. But that's like once every 6 to 9 weeks maybe. Yeah. And those are huge names, right, where they're going to be playing a theater no matter where they go. Yeah. So I'm like, well, a club, 200 to 300 seater, that might be kind of the move. And every time I found something, the city would have something to say about it. Really? They'd be like, well, you can be here, but you need to serve this much food compared to liquor because you're within this many feet of gambling machines. Really? Yeah. If you I don't know what last time you were down in that area, but if you go down 251, it's all slot machine.
That's what I've heard, yeah. It's
that's
pretty
all
crazy.
It is. It's lemon cars and slot machines once you get into Illinois.
Well, that's what we were joking about this before we went live. I'm from Twin Lakes, and you're from Pell Lake, but we're right on the border, between Wisconsin and Illinois. And I know, like, Richmond, Illinois is like that. Every spot's got a section. You know, gas stations have fucking games in them.
And that's how they're getting people to stop in. It's insane. It's their whole, it's wild. Then I had a kid. He was born, his lungs weren't working, he's fine now, and he got sent to the special hospital in Madison. And the distance from Madison to here, I live here in Janesville, is the same distance from Janesville to Rockford.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes, right?
Yep. Yeah. And for the first time in my life, I'm like, oh, making these drives suck. Where before I'd be like, if I'm not producing a show, I'm going to drive to Omaha, make $12 in a drink ticket, lose some money, meet new people, work on the act. So I started looking in the general area, happened to get lucky that a former person I worked with at a bank is a real estate agent. I told him, like, hey, man, trying to find something. Told him what, and he goes, I got the perfect spot for you. This place used to be a moose lodge that would do comedy like once a quarter or something like that. So people still think it's the same owner, actually.
Really?
Yeah, despite the fact that I'm bringing in, like, legit headliners, not road dogs and stuff. Like, not
you got to let them know, bro. You got to let your nuts hang a little bit, man.
What they used to do, man, the lights were on. It was, like, they'd have round tables and do, like, spaghetti dinners. Like, a lot of things I would never do. Like a communal spaghetti is just nasty.
This is a legit club, man. This is a legit club, bro.
So so that helped. Is when it happened, people were like, "Oh, cool, this is here." Still trying to get the word out. It's amazing how many people come, and they're like, "We had no idea," despite how much money I poured into billboards. We've had radio ads going since we opened. Yeah. So yeah, man, I pulled the trigger. It ended up happening a lot faster than I expected. It got the logo done, got the space, pretty much got 3 months of like a real low rent to like build it up, and it was like, I gotta get it open. Yeah. I'm paying this. I gotta start making money.
Yeah.
But, got to start having it pay for itself. So, yeah, here we are coming up on a year mid-January.
So how is that like the transition, man, from going from, you're trying to get up on stage as much as you can and you're working on the craft. I'm sure you're still doing that, but how do you go from, or what's the difference in mindset, I guess, from doing that and having peers in comedy to then now you're like, hey, do you guys want to play? Like, you guys, like, I believe in you, or I believe in you. Like, why don't you come do a show here? How has that transition been?
For some people, it's been pretty easy because a lot of them, when I was running those shows, they were playing a lot of them, so they were making some money, and like, so they got to see me grow as I was kind of coming up. Not that I'm, I always tell the headliners when they figure out I'm a comic, like, at my best, shitty road feature. Like, I'm not passing any clubs.
I'm
not even booking myself here.
Yeah. You haven't done a show here yet?
I'll do guest spots, or like tomorrow I'm starting a new version of like a late night show where like a comical, like I'm going to do 5 minutes of new topical shit. Yeah. And then like another comic will come up, then I'll interview him. Like,
oh, that'll be fun, man.
Yeah. So I'm forcing myself to write more. But for some people, it's been fine. Like, they did, it was fine. But for some people, they don't realize that I was giving them some opportunity or, like, was being nice, giving them a spot. Yeah. And now sometimes I get some attitude when they're like, why haven't you booked me at the club? Well, I used to do 3 to 4 shows a week. Yeah. With all these different spots, where now we do less shows and a headliner who's coming from one of the coasts normally. Yeah. I have less spots to give. Also, you haven't gotten better. Like, it's hard, that can kind of be a thing with it. But I was fortunate that I got to, because I was willing to travel,
Yeah.
for some areas, I got to meet a lot of good people. So for some of the booking, I didn't have to deal with a lot of agents and managers right away. A lot of people were willing to vouch that I at least put on good shows and saw what I was doing by myself.
Yeah.
So that really helped kind of get the word out pretty quick.
How has it been dealing with agents, talent
Hate
managers?
it.
Yeah.
Dude, when you guys were setting up, I was reading a rider, and I don't get many of them.
Yeah.
Do not get many of them, but this one was like prefers healthy food, possible sushi with brown rice if possible, edamame. I'm like, dude, this is Wisconsin. Do you like know nothing about the area you're coming
Janesville,
to?
Wisconsin,
Yeah,
man.
and like you want all this in the green room, and then it's like a Diet Coke. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna, I can be so healthy, but I'm gonna sip on this Diet Coke for the weekend. It's just,
Wow, man.
a lot of times it's nothing. It's just like sparkling water, the ability to record the set, like. But this one really, it had specific walk-up music requested. I've never had that before. I
Okay.
understand.
That one, that's kind of interesting, but yeah.
But I've never seen it. I've actually just never seen it. And I don't know if it's because, again, I was lucky that so many people were either my friends or friends of friends that it was just like, boom, let's do it.
Yeah.
If they were looking for something, they might be like, hey, is there a chance we can get this?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm pretty fortunate. I'm coming up on, like I said, a year, and I haven't really ran into as many
Jerks.
divas, I guess. I mean,
as you would have maybe thought. So that's good.
Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety. Or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do it.